The novel begins with a girl who is gravely injured, staring at the corpse beside her. One by one, she counts the dead bodies. That one, he's the male lead. And him, the second male lead. These two are the first and second sons of the killer whale family. And the one who died with his eyes still open, that's the youngest child. Her heart twists in agony. So this is it. I couldn't survive my 22nd life either. Yes, this was her third regression. In her first life, she died at 20. In her second, at 21. And now, in her third, at 22. Each time, she was reborn into a villainous family. Each time, she met her end. As she recalled the cruel pattern of her past lives, a vast shadow suddenly swept over her. She lifted her gaze to the sky. There, looming above, was a living dragon, eyes fixed on her as if she were a great sinner. He was the Dragon Duke, ruler of the land dwellers. She belonged to the sea. Somehow, the male lead of this world had provoked the Dragon Duke, and now he had come to exact vengeance. The Dragon Duke's killing intent crackled in the air as he prepared to wipe out the last surviving member of the killer whale family. But in that moment, she noticed something strange. Beyond the Dragon Duke, shimmering faintly, was a soul street. Could I reach it? Could I return to my own world? She wondered. But before the thought could fully take root, dark lightning gathered in the Dragon Duke's hand, his wrath at its peak. So this is how my third life ends, she whispered, closing her eyes. Yet when she opened them again, she was back in her childhood. When she next opened her eyes, she was no longer lying in blood. Instead, the dazzling glow of chandeliers flickered overhead. A banquet hall. Her tiny body was lifted gently by her maid, who whispered in panic, "Young lady, please be careful." Around her, nobles whispered behind their fans, their voices dripping with gossip. So that's her, the Duke's little daughter. They say she's to be the dragon's fiancé. What a pity, she hasn't even awakened her power yet. Isn't being a dragon's bride the same as being sold? Well, the killer whale family needs to make her useful somehow. The girl frowned, but then smiled brightly, her eyes gleaming with determination. Go on, gossip all you want. In this life, I will definitely become the dragon's bride. She knew where she was. This was the world of the novel. I became the reincarnated baby daughter of the Duke of the killer whale family. She had already tried, 3 times, to change the story's tragic plot, but every attempt had ended in failure. Worse than failure, she was cursed to regress again and again. In her first life, she tried to seduce the male lead but failed, and died miserably. In her second life, she never even reached adulthood. Tetanus took her at 21. In her third life, she rose higher than ever before, even becoming head of the sea dwellers. But in the end, she was ensnared by the male lead's schemes and murdered. That was when she saw him, the Dragon Duke. His overwhelming might, his command of time and space itself. And at the very brink of death, when his lightning fell upon her, she saw a fleeting glimpse of soul, her real world. So now, reborn once more, she was certain of one thing. If she became the dragon's bride, she could break free from this cursed cycle of regression. This time, she would return home. After the banquet, the maid shoved her into a bare, freezing chamber. Left alone in the cold, she hugged her tiny body. She was treated like that because in this family, she was nothing but a disposable existence. As her thoughts darkened, the sharp clack of heels echoed from the corridor. The heavy door creaked open. An imposing old woman stepped inside, eyes void of warmth. Beside her stood a tall aide, carrying a ledger. The old woman gave the child a single, uninterested glance. "So, this is the thing?" she asked flatly. The aide bowed. "Yes, Your Grace." The girl stiffened. She recognized her immediately, Orcula Aquagital, the current head of the killer whale family. Today was the day she would receive her name. The aide stepped forward and bowed again. "Young lady has not yet awakened her water power." At this, Orcula's lips curled into a disdainful sneer. "So you've brought me something useless?" She turned, already stepping toward the door. The girl's chest tightened. "No, not again. If she leaves me like this, I'll be abandoned. Forgotten. Left to die." The aide hesitated. "Your Grace, what about her name?" Orcula didn't even glance back. "Calypso." With a dismissive flick of her hand, she turned to leave. The girl's small fists trembled. Is this the end? Again, her heart screamed. No, if I don't get her attention now, my fate will be sealed. Summoning every ounce of courage, she shouted, her voice breaking through the cold air. "Wait." Both Orcula and her aide stopped in their tracks, eyes wide with surprise. "What did you just say?" Orcula asked. "Grandma." She forced her voice. For the first time, genuine surprise flickered across Orcula's face. She shifted her gaze to the aide. Did you know she could speak?" The aide quickly stepped forward, his voice hesitant. "Your Grace, yes. When baby orcas reach 2 years old, they can usually grasp common words." Orcula's sharp gaze slid toward him. Is that so? Is it not common sense that children of the killer whale family are slow to speak? Most stutter until they are at least 5. The aide bowed, sweat forming at his temple. Yes, Your Grace. That is the case. Orcula turned back to the little girl, eyes gleaming with interest. Slowly, she crouched down and extended her hand. Hey, you, speak again. Calypso drew in a breath, her tiny voice ringing clear. Grandma. Orcula's brows rose slightly, her lips curled into something that was not quite a smile. It seems she not only speaks, but understands as well. The aide fumbled with his ledger, bowing deeper. My apologies, Your Grace. I have not heard of such things from her maids or nanny. But Calypso wasn't listening anymore. Her eyes sparkled, delight bubbling inside her. This is the ability of a reincarnator, Granny. Orcula tilted her head, studying her. Did a genius appear among those fish brains? Calypso giggled, and without missing a beat, chirped, Fish brain Grandma. A startled silence fell over the room, then Orcula laughed. A sharp, amused laugh that echoed against the bare walls. She reached forward and scooped Calypso up with surprising ease. You cheeky little thing. For the first time, there was a glimmer of genuine warmth in her eyes. And you look exactly like Pierre, even without the power of water, you're developing faster than the rest. Her tone quickly hardened again. But tell me, little one, can you prove your worth? Calypso's smile turned sly. She reached her tiny hand up to Orcula's face, gently brushing her cheek, then suddenly tugged hard. Ah! Orcula's silver hair tore free in Calypso's grasp, strands glittering between her small fingers. The child held the trophy of hair high like a banner of victory. Grandma, I'm good at it. I'll prove it. Her words rang bold, though her final thought, silent and hidden behind her grin, was meant only for herself.